Hi everybody. You may be wondering why we are in the bathroom today, and that is because we are going to be cleaning our trumpets. And interestingly enough, you're actually going to clean your trumpet in the bathtub. Now, I would recommend doing this. If you're a high schooler, you should do it after marching season ends. So December, Christmas break time, get all those nachos and Gatorade and everything out of your trumpet. Middle schoolers and everybody else, probably at least once a year at the end of the school year is a good time. I'm doing mine right now because I had a cold this week, and when you're sick and you have a cold and you're still playing your trumpet, you don't want to keep getting yourself sick again from those germs. First thing that we need to do to clean our trumpet is gather our supplies. So if you look over here, I have a towel. I have a non-lint, like a lint-free microfiber cleaning cloth. I have my valve cleaner, my mouthpiece cleaner, valve oil, slide oil, and my cleaning snake. And of course, my trumpet. First thing we are going to do, I filled the bathtub up over here with warm water. You want lukewarm water, not hot and not cold. Think like swimming pool temperature. And I put a couple of drops of dish soap in there, and Palmolive, Dawn dish soap, anything that will cut grease. And that's what you're going to put in there, okay? Now, I'm going to start by taking my trumpet apart. We're going to take all of your slides off. You're going to remove all of your valve caps. And you're going to remove your valves. The valves are not going to go in the bathtub. I'm going to set those here on this towel. If you remember, at the top of your valve you have this felt. You do not want to get that felt wet, because then it will not absorb the shock the way that it normally does, and it can grow bacteria. If yours do get wet, you'll need to replace them. You can order those online or just buy felts at the hardware store or anything like that. So now I'm going to take my trumpet and all the parts except for the valves, and I'm actually going to stick it straight into the bathtub. Right like that. Your mom might have a heart attack the first time you do that, but it really is okay. Let me just put everything there in the tub. Okay, next, while that is soaking, we are going to clean our valves. So again, we are going to use warm water, like lukewarm swimming pool temperature water, not hot, not cold, because you don't want to damage the metal or the finish on your valves, or on your trumpet. So I'm going to put a little bit of soap on here. That might have been a little bit too much, but that's okay. Thank you, Costco bottle. And you're going to scrub the valves. What we're doing, we're trying to get all the grease off of them, all the icky stuff that gets in there. I'm also going to take my mouthpiece brush, and I'm going to scrub out all of the holes. And you're going to repeat this for every one of your valves. And notice the way I'm holding it up here. I'm holding it by the top, and that felt is pushed all the way up there, so I'm not getting it wet. I'm holding it right there, so that felt is not getting wet. And then I'm going to rinse that one. Nice and good. Get all the soap off of there and put it over here to dry. Like I said, you repeat that for each of your valves. Make sure that felt is all the way up at the top. I often will have students that will come into their lessons and they'll be making some funny sounds, or their valves are sticking or something, and we'll pull them out and there'll be things growing in their trumpet and in their valves. You definitely don't want that to be you, so make sure you keep your instrument clean. And it's kind of convenient that we can do this. My daughter, who's actually videotaping, plays the oboe, and we cannot put her wooden oboe in the bathtub. And I've always been a little bit of a loss of what I'm supposed to do to get that thing clean. But luckily we're trumpet players, and we can just put ours in the bathtub. All right, there you go. My valves are clean. I'm gonna take off my watch so I don't get that wet. And I forgot my mouthpiece over here. Because we want to clean our mouthpiece too. So now I am taking mouthpiece brush, valve brush, cleaning snake, and cleaning cloth over to the bathtub. All right, can you see? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to take my trumpet. Sometimes I like to kind of push the bubbles aside and run the snake through so I can see the stuff come out. I don't know if you can see that, but so I'm going to stick your snake in one side of your lead pipe and you pull it out the other side. And I don't know if you guys could see that, but I just got some gross stuff out of there. Okay, I'm also going to run it through here. Basically, you're going to run it through every pipe. Okay. All of your valve pipes. Everywhere you can get it. Okay. Then you're going to take your tuning slides. And you're going to put it through all of your tuning slides. Now your main tuning slide, it should go all the way through. Your other ones, it probably won't. So like my third valve slide, I'm going to stick it in as far as it'll go. And then I'm going to put it in the other side. Same thing with this little tiny second valve slide. You do want to get that clean because it can get deposits in there from your valves. Oh, which one am I missing? Where's my first valve slide? There it is. Okay. So now I am going to take the valve brush, and this goes down inside your valve casing. And you scrub that out. If you don't have one of these brushes, you can use your actually you can use your cleaning snake with a cloth over it, because the cleaning snake itself is not big enough. But you can take your cloth and your cleaning snake and stick it in there like that and scrub it out if you don't have one of those. Now I'm going to take my microfiber cloth and I'm going to wipe down the outside, all the silver part of my instrument. Or brass, if your trumpet is brass, we're just wiping down the outside. Okay, when we're done with that, we're going to go back and we're going to clean all of the non-shiny parts. So, like this part of your slide right here. And then on each of your slides. Just making sure we're getting all the old grease off of those. Number 2. Remember my first valve slide had one of the non-shiny parts on the trumpet, the other one's on here. Yours might be the other way around, you might have both on there. Just make sure you get all of that. The same thing with my third valve slide. It's right there. Okay. Now we're going to clean our valve caps. These kind of collect a lot of gunk from our valves, so we want to make sure that we clean those out real well. Again, you can do it with the cloth, or you can take like the side of your valve brush and just kind of scrub those out. So make sure you get those nice and clean. And last but not least, I'm going to clean out my mouthpiece. Now, I threw my mouthpiece in here with everything else because I'm doing it anyways, but you guys should be cleaning your mouthpiece out at least once a week, this same way, just in the sink, but with warm soapy water. Or if you want, you can actually do your mouthpiece with hot water, kind of disinfect it a little bit, make sure that gets nice and clean. Okay, so now I've cleaned all the parts of my trumpet, so I'm going to pull the plug and let the water drain. You can pause it. Okay guys, I have drained the bathtub, gotten rid of all the bubbles, so now we just have the parts of the trumpet. And now we need to rinse them. We need to get all the soap and dirty water out. So again, we're going to do lukewarm water. And I'm just going to hold my trumpet under the faucet. just trying to get it into any spot I can. All of the valves, all your slides. Okay? And then same thing, I'm going to rinse all the parts. That is everything. So now we are going to take everything back over to this towel where my valves are. And we are going to lay stuff out to dry. Okay, so I'm laying all my pieces out here. So we don't want to put our trumpet back together when it's wet. And there's my trumpet. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit here for about 20-30 minutes and let it dry, let it air dry. If you're crunched for time, you can take another microfiber cloth and wipe out the outside and kind of blow through the pipes and dry them that way. But I'm going to let it sit here for about 30 minutes and dry, and then I will meet you back here in a few. Okay, I've moved everything out of the bathroom over to the kitchen table. My trumpet has had time to dry, and now we're going to put it back together. By this time, you guys all know how to oil and grease your slides and everything, so we're going to go pretty quickly through that. I'm going to start with my slides so that I don't have to worry about pushing valves up and down as I'm doing the slides. And we're just going to put a little bit on the end of each slide. Stick it in, back and forth. Now if this is too fast for you and you don't see how I'm doing this, go back and watch one of my other videos about basic trumpet maintenance, and I'll walk you through how to do your slides. So now I've got my first valve slide, and again, since part of my non-shiny part is over here, I'm going to put oil on this part, or grease on that part, sorry, and grease on this one, and then put it all the way in. Okay. Now, second valve slide can, it's not very big, but we're still the same concept because you still need this to move. If you don't grease it and take it out every once in a while, it will get stuck. I actually had to have my husband take this one out for me today because it got a little bit stuck. And you just wipe off the extra grease there. And same thing with your third valve slide. And this one won't spin much, but you're going to spin it as much as you can. And then grease on here. And put those back in. And that's all of my slides. Now we're going to do our valves. Now you want to make sure we get our valves back in the right order, right? So this is number 3. And again, if you're not sure how to do this, how to oil your valves, go back and watch my video about how to do this, because we're just going to do it real fast here right now. It's number 3, number 2, and number 1. Okay, and the last thing that we're going to do is put our valve caps back onto the bottom, like so. And then if you have these little nuts, if you have a Bach, they're going to go back on here. You should have 2 of them. If you don't have 2, you need to get another one. So they're going to go on, and you twist them towards each other so that they lock in place. I put a valve wrap on my valves just to keep my hand oils from corroding it, since I'm playing like 8-9 hours a day. You want to make sure that my hands don't ruin my trumpet. Put your mouthpiece back in, and you have a beautifully clean trumpet. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks.